Hello. Welcome to the stream. My name is Rajvir, and today we have a special guest. Today I'm going to talk to Asim about his new book, ESP32 with Arduino IDE. And I hope you guys can hear me in the stream. If not, please pop me a comment if the audio is clear or not, or I will fix that up for you. And how do I get to know him? I was scrolling around some topics for IoT and I came across this book, ESP32 with Arduino IDE. And then I read this book in 3 days because I was so curious about ESP32 and it was quite interesting to read this book. And I just did one experiment and I get to know about this WOKWI. And then somehow I got connected to Asim on the internet, on LinkedIn, and we had a nice chat. And we thought, okay, let's do live stream and get to know more about your book and what you are doing, how you can help the students out there or others who are interested in IoT. So welcome Asim, welcome to this chat, welcome to this live stream. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. And I wanted to know about you, what you are doing. You're living in Germany, I guess, and where are you working and what motivated you to write this book?
Okay, so I'm working as a IoT developer,
Mm-hmm.
but I have been creating content on IoT for like last 3 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find my content on my YouTube channel High
Okay.
Voltages or my blog
Okay.
highvoltages.co.
Okay.
So I was creating all these content, and PEC found that interesting, and they approached me for writing a book on ESP32
Okay.
since I was creating a lot of content on
Mm-hmm.
ESP32, MQTT protocol, and Arduino IDE, Raspberry Pi,
Okay.
and these kind of stuff. So uh, from there, we started drafting an outline, and finally, we did this project together with PEC, and
Cool.
that's how it comes. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was also approached by PAC to write some books, and I said, okay, this is a huge task. I can't write a book because writing a book for me is like an art. So, how did you know how to write a book already before, or was it the first time you wrote a book? How did you learn how to write a book?
Yes, I mean, it was really difficult task because when I got this opportunity, I thought it would be similar like writing a blog
Mm-hmm.
because I was writing blogs on my website,
Mm-hmm.
and when I started writing, I thought, no, this is very different thing.
Okay.
If you are having a blog, you can always edit it for something. I mean, you can update it always, but when you are writing a book, you have to be very careful
That's
about the
true.
information that you are writing. And
That's true.
it took me a lot of time to write the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the team at PECT helped me do that. But once I wrote the first chapter, it got easier. I mean, with the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
So, how much time it took you to write the whole book, if I ask you?
It took me around 6 to 7 months
Oh,
since I was doing it as a part time. I mean, while doing my full time job.
okay, great. So, what is your full-time
Mm.
job? I want to know.
Uh, yes, I'm currently working as a IoT developer. So
Okay.
I'm working on some IoT research projects.
So, for someone who is new to IoT, what is the task of IoT developer in the industry? What do you do daily? Which kind of software, hardware tools that you use?
I mean, the IoT field itself is, I mean, very diverse
Mm-hmm.
since you will have a bit of sensing, embedded systems,
Mm-hmm.
clouds, networking,
Okay.
security, and yes, and application as well. So, for someone to get started, firstly, he will have to, I mean, look at everything, and he will have to learn a bit of everything because
Okay.
it is all these things combined together that makes the IoT.
Okay.
So, I mean, for beginners that are just getting started, I can advise them to look into embedded system, maybe look into ESP32, Raspberry
Okay.
Pi, start with that, and maybe from there, if they will uh, enjoy it, if they are enjoying it, they can maybe pursue something more advanced in embedded system, or
Okay.
they can look into different clouds, AWS, Azure, and there are many other different clouds that they can look into. And then there is networking thing. You will have to know different protocols, and all these different protocols are for different things.
Okay.
So this is also a good starting point. So yeah, they can explore, and then they can decide what excites them more. And yes, so.
So, um, you recommend them to start with ESP32 because this is the easiest or the cheapest one available on the internet, easily available. But where do
Mhm.
they find the content? How do they start with? Is it already available on the internet, or you recommend them some website or YouTube channels or your YouTube channel? How do you recommend them to start learning?
Yes, the community of ESP32 is very strong. ESP32 is very popular,
Hmm.
and you will find a lot of content on ESP32. And
Okay.
one good thing about using ESP32 is, it gives you flexibility of using. You can use different platforms. For
Okay.
example, you can use Arduino IDE, or you can use ESP IDF, or maybe if you are already doing something in Python, you can use
Okay.
MicroPython or Circuit Python as well.
Right.
And for resources, there are so many good blogs on the internet, and my blog might be helpful
Okay.
uh, for the viewers. Or
Hmm.
this book that I have written is for the beginners, or for the people who does not have any background in the
Okay.
embedded system or anything. So
Okay.
uh,
So
yes.
you recommend them your blog, your YouTube channel, also this book. This book is actually very good. It starts from scratch, so I find it helpful. And
Hmm.
to be honest, when I heard about ESP32, I bought three of them, and then I
Hmm.
realized there's another version of that. Then I bought three more of them, but I never used
Hmm.
it. I was so lazy to start working on that. But for
Hmm.
sure, after this live session where you're going to show some project, I'm going to be testing that as well whenever I get time. And for
Hmm.
those who don't have ESP32, don't worry, you don't have to order right away. You can still work on the software version of that, the digital twin, if I can say, version of that. And this is what Asim is going to show us today, how to use simulated ESP32 and do your projects and even connect that to the cloud. So this is what we are going
Hmm.
to see today. So Asim, over to you. Maybe you can start with what we are going to learn today with your slides.
Okay, so this is the agenda of today's webinar. So what we are going to do,
Mm-hmm.
Rajvir has already given a general idea about WOKWI.
Mm-hmm.
So we will look at what is WOKWI, and we will
Okay.
explore the WOKWI website, and then we will see what we can do with WOKWI by looking at some already featured projects.
Okay.
And then we mentioned ESP32, Arduino, Raspberry Pi.
Mm-hmm.
So we will look at the options that WorkVi offers,
Okay.
and also different programming languages that we can use in WorkVi.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will do a hands-on Hello World example in WorkVi.
Okay.
If you have ever used Arduino, you will know that it is a basic Blink example that we do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with Arduino.
Right.
So we will do that, and then we will do a simple basic IoT project in which we will interface a sensor with ESP32, and then we will send that data to Node-RED using
Okay.
MQTT protocol.
Okay.
So this is what we are going to do, and so let's start with what is WOKWI.
Okay. One
So
request before you start, audience, please put a comment if you have anything to ask or put in the chat. I will be watching the chat and will be responding to you. So we have one user name is Nayab. Hello, Nayab. He was just saying hello. So yes, please continue.
okay, so this is the WOKWI
Okay.
website, and yeah.
Okay.
So you can access it by going to workvi.com,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the basic user interface. And the first thing you will have to do is to you will have to sign up, which is very straightforward. You
All right.
can do that using your Google account, or any other. There are other options as well. And here you will see different boards: Arduino, ESP32, STM32, and Pi Pico.
Okay.
And then if I'll go down, you will see some featured IoT projects. So let's start with some, I mean, any of these featured
Ah,
IoT projects.
so,
Let's start with,
so they are like ready to use project. You can just start it. Oh,
yes,
cool.
yes. So let's start with ESP32 uh,
Okay.
NTP clock.
All right.
So if I'll open this, you will
Mm-hmm.
see that on the right hand side I have the circuit diagram,
Right.
and on this side, on the left hand side, I have the code.
Okay.
So this is the featured IoT project. So all I have to do is, for now, I will just start the simulation to
Okay.
just give you an idea like
Mm-hmm.
what work we can do.
Perfect.
So if I'll run this, you will
Wow.
see some text here. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the serial monitor right here,
Okay.
and so you
Oh,
see it
wow.
is connecting to Wi-Fi,
Cool.
and then
So
it
it
is
will show the live
showing the,
time. Oh, wow.
yes, and it is using the NTP clock.
Mm-hmm.
So using the
Right.
internet. So and it is showing the time in
Cool.
UTC, since we are located in GMT plus two. So the
Okay.
time here is 126, and
Right. Yeah,
yes.
perfect.
So
So, am I allowed to ask questions in between? Sorry.
yes, yeah, sure.
So, this code, which is on the left side, if I put it in the
Mm-hmm.
ESP32, the same code copy
Mm-hmm.
paste, it will work the
Mm-hmm.
same which I see here. I don't have to change anything. Directly copy paste, right?
Yes, and I mean, if you are putting this code in your ESP32, you will
Mm-hmm.
have to just change a few
Okay.
credentials, I would say. I mean, just you will have to change the Wi-Fi details.
Wi-Fi details. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay, this makes
apart
sense.
from that, this code is very, I mean,
Wow.
you will not have to change anything else, and you will have to set up all these libraries
Right.
as well. I mean, but since they are using very basic libraries that
Okay.
comes with Arduino IDE,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
pre-installed. So,
pre-installed. Right.
mhm, mhm.
And what is on the tab on the top? I see diagram JSON or libraries also.
Y- yes. So we have this diagram.json.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will explain this
Okay.
when we will be doing the hands-on,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
have this libraries and things as well.
Okay.
So it was just to give you an idea what we can,
Got
I
it.
mean,
Got it.
what we can do in WOKWI.
Okay.
So let's go back, and now let's look at the different boards option that we have in WOKWI.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Arduino.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'll click here on Arduino, I will see some featured projects related to Arduino,
Okay.
which is, I mean, you can
Different boards
look
option
at
that we.
it, and then we have different Arduino boards. For example, we have Arduino Uno, which
Mm-hmm.
is the most popular one, and
Right.
then we have Arduino Mega. If we, I mean, need more IO pins, we can use Arduino Mega, and
Okay.
then we have Arduino Nano and some other boards as well. And they also feature some latest projects as well, so you can always look at what people are building. I mean, you can get an idea what's the,
Right.
yeah.
So, can
So
you also publish your project here, or do you need a paid account or some special subscription for that?
okay, so if you are using WorkWe for free,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the projects that you are doing will be published publicly.
Okay.
And
Publicly.
if you want to save it private, you will have to get the WorkWe Pro subscription,
Okay.
which is not that expensive, I guess.
Got it. Cool.
Okay. So then we have the ESP32, and here we have some uh, different versions of ESP32. So
Mm-hmm.
we have ESP32 S2, S3, C3, and then this is for the you can use these templates with
Mm-hmm.
uh, Arduino framework. But if you would like to use the ESP IDF, you can use these boards, and ESP IDF is the official framework for ESP32,
Okay.
and but it is, I mean, a bit, um, I would say, difficult than Arduino IDE.
Okay.
Uh, so, and then if you'll go down here, you will find some um, latest projects here. So similarly, you will have different boards for
Different boards.
STM32 and Pi Pico as well. With Pi Pico, you can use, for example, you can use MicroPython here. So, for
Okay.
example, uh, let's open this NeoPixel ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you see here, I have Python code here.
Oh, nice.
So this is really nice if you are,
So then
I mean,
Python
if you are
programmer.
already using Python, so it would be really easy for you to get started here. So
Okay.
if I'll run this, you will see some
Okay.
like this scrolling
Nice.
feature here, and
Nice. Very nice.
so
So it's not just embedded C, you can also learn Python as well in this platform, WOKWI.
yes.
What other platform does it support? Arduino
uh,
IDE programming language, Python, anything else that it supports?
yes, also we have here Rust.
Ah, Rust. I don't know. What is Rust?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm not very expert in Rust as well, but it is also a programming language that many embedded
Okay.
developers use, and it is very low level programming language. So
Okay.
for example, open this code, and you will see a lot of. I mean, this is the Rust code that we have here,
Mm-hmm.
and for this I mean, this shows how powerful tool it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can start with any board or any, I mean, programming language that you are interested in.
Okay.
So it is really, it makes things really easy to, I mean, learn or to
To
start.
first start in the simulated and then on the real platform. That's how the learning is.
Yes.
It's very good. Okay.
Mhm.
Pretty nice introduction to WOKWI. So let's see what we're gonna do today. So what is on your agenda?
Yes. So we will be doing firstly basic Hello World example
Mm-hmm.
using ESP32.
Okay.
So I'll go to this ESP32,
Okay.
and then I will scroll down. I'll select this simple ESP32
Okay.
here,
Start a target.
and okay. So now I will just see ESP32 here,
Mm-hmm.
and here I have the code,
Mm-hmm.
which for now is the basic code and is only printing hello ESP32 on the serial monitor.
Can you maybe
So
zoom this code a little bit so that it's easily visible? Yeah, that's nice.
okay,
Okay, because some people are watching on the phone, I don't know, so it's easy for them to realize what's happening. Okay, hello
okay.
ESP32 is printing in. It's much similar to
So
Arduino programming, similar to Arduino
yes, it
IDE.
is the Arduino program. So
Okay,
I mean, if you will just copy paste it in the
yeah,
Arduino, it will work.
okay,
So if I will run this, I will see hello ESP32
right, mm-hmm.
uh, in the serial monitor.
Right,
So now let me show you some components that we can use in WorkWi.
mm-hmm.
So for example, if I'll click on this plus
Mm-hmm.
icon, add a new part,
Mm-hmm.
so I will see many
Oh,
different
that's cool, nice library.
components that I can use. So we have LED push button, we have some displays,
Nice,
and we have some inputs like joystick, receiver, IR receiver, keypad, potentiometer,
wow,
and some
that's
sensors.
cool, they have everything.
Many sensors like accelerometer as well. This is real-time clock.
Oh,
And
wow,
if I'll go down here, we have outputs. So for example, we have buzzer, servo,
mm-hmm.
and relay modules.
Okay,
So we have breadboards
breadboards,
here,
oh wow,
and we have the SD card module here as well. But I mean, you can this some of these components, for that you will need a pro version. For example, if I would like to upload some files in the SD card,
mm-hmm.
you will have to use a pro version. But
Pro version,
if you
okay,
just want to test the simple code, you can use
okay,
these
okay,
components.
okay, okay,
And also there's option to create your own custom chip.
yeah.
So I mean, if there is no sensor available, you can create your own sensor
Oh,
by.
okay. So you can program your chip and create whatever you like.
Yes.
Cool.
So for this Hello World example,
Mm-hmm.
we will simply be using an LED.
Mm-hmm.
So I will drag and drop here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will drag a current limiting resistor.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change the value here,
Okay.
but I will keep it like this, and you can rotate it by
Ah, okay.
clicking here. So and
It's
then I
very
will
easy
put
to
it
use,
here.
I have to say. Very
Yes.
nice user interface.
Yeah. So I'll.
It reminds me of the time when I was working on fritzing. Have you worked on
Mm.
fritzing? It's a tool for Arduino circuits.
Yes, I mean, Fritzing, I have used it a lot, but basically it was mostly for creating the connection
Just the
diagrams.
diagram. They didn't
But
have simulation that
yes,
time. I don't know if they have it
yes,
today, but this looks
yes.
also similar to fritzing.
But there was another tool, Tinkercad,
Ah, yeah, Tinkercad.
which allows you the simulation as well. But
Ah, okay.
there was no IoT option. I mean, you cannot use the Wi-Fi or
Hmm.
things like that in the
Oh, yeah,
Tinkercad.
it's true. With Tinkercad, they
Hmm.
also have a CAD option to you can design your own 3D
Yes,
diagrams. Also nice.
yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so we will connect.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the cathode and anode of the LED. So I will
Mm-hmm.
connect cathode to this resistor,
Mm-hmm.
and I will connect this resistor to ground. Okay, and then this anode pin, I can connect it to any digital
Mm-hmm.
pin. So I will
Mm-hmm.
connect it to pin number two.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the basic. Uh, Connection. And if I'll go to diagram.json, it is simply the
Ah.
connection diagram in the JSON format. So,
Aha.
for example, I have this LED here. I can find it here. I can change the attributes of LED.
Ah,
So, for
cool.
example, if I'll say green, the LED
Ah,
will be green
nice.
here.
And also the
Or
location of the LED, I believe, is
yes, you
top
can
left.
change it
Oh, cool.
if you
Oh, that's
don't
nice.
want to drag and
So
drop.
it's
So,
easy to share your diagram via JSON to others if you want to share.
yes,
That's
yes, yeah,
very
you can
nice.
just copy and paste it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very intuitive, I have to say.
Yeah, so I'll just change it to red.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this library manager. I mean, here we can upload, install libraries. For example, if I need any library, I can search here. So,
Okay.
for example, I can search, I mean, there are different libraries here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use any of it.
Okay.
Or you can upload a library, but this feature is not free. For that, you will need
Ah, club members.
a subscription.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, cool.
So let's go back to our code and now let's program it to blink. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing what we are going to do is we will have to define the pin. So I will define
Okay.
integer red LED
Mm-hmm.
equal to, we are using pin number 2.
True.
So
Okay.
I will define 2 here
Okay.
and then semicolon. And then here in the
Mm-hmm.
setup function is, is for setting up things and it will only run once.
Once, yeah.
So I will write pin mode. I will define the pin mode of our
Digital
LED.
output,
So
if I
yeah, we
remember.
can say it as output. So I will tell the pin number. So that is red LED, and then
Ah,
it
okay.
is output.
Just output. I remember in
Yeah.
Arduino we used to write digital output. Was it like this?
Yes.
Okay.
To define the pin, we use pin mode, but to write,
Ah, to
we will write
write.
digital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
digital
okay. Digital write.
write.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I
Yes.
worked on it 10 years ago. So,
Yes.
okay, cool. Digital write.
And
Yeah,
then we will
that
define
makes sense.
the pin as high,
Hi,
and
okay.
then we can give a delay of maybe 1 second, like
Okay.
1000 millisecond is
Mm-hmm.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will turn off the LED by writing red LED
No.
low,
Cool.
and then delay. Okay, so the program is ready and we can simply start this. So it will compile and it
Awesome.
will run, and
Mm-hmm.
once, so you
Nice.
see the LED is
Yeah,
blinking now.
right. I can see it.
Mhm.
Very smooth.
So that Mhm. So that was a basic, I would say, hello world example
Mm-hmm.
in WOKWI using ESP32.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we can do, I mean, the main agenda or main project of this talk, I will share the screen,
Okay.
my screen. So what we are going to do is we will create a similar circuit,
Mm-hmm.
and we will read the sensor data,
Mm-hmm.
which in this case we are using DHT22 sensor,
Mm-hmm.
and which is like which will give us the temperature and humidity values.
Okay.
And then we will send that data to Node-RED, and using the dashboard
Mm-hmm.
palette in the Node-RED, we will create a
Okay.
simple dashboard to show the temperature and humidity values. And
Okay.
also we will create a switch that will trigger our LED. So that's what we
Okay,
are.
it's a two-way communication from dashboard to the ESP, from ESP to dashboard.
Yes.
Cool.
So I'll go back to WOKWI. I will stop this simulation,
Hmm.
and then we will need a sensor DHT22.
Right. So
So we
this
will go
sensor is
here.
used to measure temperature and humidity. Two parameters.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm. So I will import this, drag this sensor here, and we have 4 pins. We have ground,
Ah, cool.
NC, that is not connected
Hmm.
pin, and SDA, which is the data pin, and then we have the
Ah,
VCC.
I remember you
So,
mentioned about this SD in your book when I was reading about different types of communication, and SDA was one of it.
yes, it was. I mean, we were using the same DHT22
Yeah,
sensor, so yeah, we were interfacing that.
great.
So the VCC pin, we will connect it to 5 volt here.
Okay,
Yes, and then this ground pin, I will connect it to ground. I have to find the ground here. Okay, so
there we go.
we have a ground here. I'll connect it here, and then this STA pin, I can connect it to any digital pin.
Okay,
So now,
that's it. That's all the wiring you need.
yes, that's all the
Cool.
wiring that we need. Now we will be uh, simply printing the sensor values on the serial monitor. So let's
Okay,
start from the scratch. So for using the sensor, we will first import two libraries.
okay,
Okay, so I will search for DHT22 library, which is here, and I will get another library, DHT sensor library.
okay,
So I have imported these two libraries, and uh, I will see these libraries here as well.
okay.
So it is similar like diagram.json. If you
Okay.
will just simply copy and paste it,
This will also be in the
uh,
library in the manager. Okay.
yes.
I have one
So,
question. Let's say
mhm,
I am working on the real ESP32 and this
mhm,
real sensor. Where do I get the
mhm.
libraries then for this sensor? Is it on the sensor manufacturer website, or you can find it in Arduino, I don't know, community or somewhere?
Yes, so you can find it on Arduino
Okay.
IDE. I mean, they have a tool called Library Manager,
Okay,
which you can
there you can
use.
find. Okay. So I have to just
Yes,
type the
and
same name, which you typed there?
yes,
Same name.
yes, you
Okay.
can type same names,
Okay,
and you
cool.
will find all those libraries there.
Nice.
But some of libraries are not there. So what you can do is you can do on their GitHub page, you can download the zip file,
Hmm.
and you can import them as a zip file.
Cool. Okay.
Mm. So now we will write our code. So first thing, we will include these libraries in our code.
Hmm.
So I will write so, and so for now we are just using the DHT.
Okay.
So I will just simply import this library which we have added here, and then we are importing it in our code.
Okay.
Okay, and then we will define our DHT pin. So I will define integer DHT
Okay.
pin equal to this is 14.
14.
So I
Okay,
will
cool.
call it 14.
So one
Okay.
question, in
Yes.
ESP32, can you connect this to any pin? You took 14 now. Why 14?
Yes.
Can you use any other
Yes.
pin?
We can use any digital pin. So for
Any
example, this
digital
is
pin. Okay.
yes. So for example, we have different pins here. So
Okay.
these numbered pins are
These are
mostly
digital.
the digital
Does it
pins.
also
Yes.
has analog inputs?
Uh, I- I'll have to look at this version. Basically, ESP32 has analog pins,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if this specific version has
Okay.
the
Okay.
analog pin or not.
Okay.
Yes,
So there are ESP with analog input as well. Good to know.
yes.
Okay. Please continue.
Okay, so once we have defined the pin, we will call a function from our library,
Hmm.
and we will call DHT, and we will name this DST. And here we will define
Mm.
our DST pin that
Mm-hmm.
we have defined here. So DST pin, and then we will define the type of our DST. So
Okay.
there are two type of DST sensors. We have DST 11 and DST22. Since we are using DST22, so I will write
Okay.
DST22 here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is the we are simply defining the DST pin and simply initializing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then then we will in the setup function we will simply call a function from the this DST library.
Okay.
So by calling this object that we have created,
Mm-hmm.
so we will write DST dot begin. So
So
it will initial, yes.
one question. If I
Hmm.
have to see what is in the library, can I see it in WOKWI? Or do I have to
Um,
research on the internet and download the library and then see what are the functions inside?
I mean, you can look into, you can go to the GitHub page of the library, and from
Okay.
there you can see.
But
But
here
from
it's not
WOKWI,
possible, right?
no,
Oh,
here it
okay,
is
okay,
not possible.
okay, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
So,
So we have simply initialized our DST.
hmm,
Then we will create two variables to get the humidity and temperature data.
okay.
So I will call float, let's say temperature,
Hmm.
equal to DST dot read temperature.
Wow, that's very easy.
Yes,
Just clicking
and
the
then
console. Okay.
similarly I can call humidity equal to DST dot
Reading
read
humidity. Okay.
humidity.
Okay.
Okay, and then we can simply print that using serial dot print ln. So we can say,
You can scroll a little bit down because your camera is hiding the text which you're writing.
okay,
Yeah, that's better. No, just scrolling is fine. Yeah. Serial dot print
okay.
temperature. Cool.
So temperature, and here I will convert this to string
Mm-hmm.
and temperature.
Jump. Okay.
So similarly, we will print the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
So we are
Yeah. What did you say? Maybe small. Okay.
okay. So and then we can simply give a delay of, let's say, 1 second.
And then it will keep on printing after 1 second, right?
Yes. So let's run
You
this.
have LED as well. Maybe you want to remove it, or is it okay? Red LED.
It is okay. Yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just taking care
We
of
will
that.
have the both things
Mm-hmm.
like together. So we have this red
LED goes
LED
on,
blinking.
and then it will show
We have the
temperature.
temperature and humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And good thing about using the WOKWI is you
Mm-hmm.
can change the values
Oh,
here.
that's cool.
I can change the temperature.
Uh-huh. 35.8. Yes.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Nice. So you can simulate the values, and based on that, if you want to trigger something, you can do that.
Yes, and this is one of the things that you that is challenging if you are doing it
Right.
like with the real ESP32. I mean, I remember while working with temperature sensors back in my graduation days, I was using some kind of producing heat around the
Yeah.
sensor
Just
to
rub your finger on
simulate.
it.
Yes,
This is
so I mean, it is really challenging if
yeah,
you are
sure.
doing it.
I was doing it
Uh,
yesterday. I was working on a video and I had this vibration sensor on the motor. I want to see the change in temperature. If it was working, I was
mm,
rubbing my finger
mm.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
So for these kind of I mean things, it is really simulation makes it easier.
That's true. Okay.
Okay, so this is basic reading and
Mm-hmm.
reading of input and changing the output. So now what we can do, I mean, this was without IoT. We are not using the Wi-Fi capabilities of
Mm-hmm.
ESP32. So now let's use the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So yes, if we have any questions, maybe we can. Yeah.
No, no, not so far. It's just
Okay.
me asking questions.
Okay. So let's start with the Wi-Fi. So for example,
Okay.
for now, I will remove this LED code. We will
Mm-hmm.
not need that,
Mm-hmm.
and I will also remove this
Yeah.
hello ESP32 to make things simpler. And then okay, so now we will import few libraries. For example, if we would like to use the Wi-Fi capabilities of ESP32, I will need the Wi-Fi library,
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi.h, and also we will be using the MQTT protocol.
Okay.
So I will define the PAHO. We will be using the uh, PAHO client.
Okay.
So yes, PAHO MQTT. So
Okay.
I will include that as well. So it is PAHO
But do you need to first
supply.
take it in the library manager?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, we will have to import it here
Okay.
as well. So, sorry, the library name is not PAHO, it is in Python. We have the PubSub client.
Ah,
Yes.
because Paho was in
So,
Python, I think.
yes, yeah.
PubSub is
So,
in other.
PAHO is in Python.
Yeah.
So, in Arduino, it's PubSub.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
if I'll go here, PubSub client,
Got it.
here, I can add this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we do not need to add the Wi-Fi library since we have imported ESP32. It comes pre-installed
Okay.
or
Okay.
yes, so we do not need to
Okay.
add that library. So then we will have to define some credentials.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, we will need the SSID of
Mm-hmm. Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi and password of Wi-Fi,
Mm-hmm.
and we will have to define the MQTT server.
Okay.
So let's do that. So I will create a variable constant character,
Mm-hmm.
and I will call it SSID.
Mm-hmm.
It is a variable type in Arduino IDE.
Okay.
So I will define my SSID here.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you are simulating our project in WOKWI,
Mm-hmm.
we have already this SSID that we can use. So that is WOKWI
Okay.
guest,
Okay.
and you can get this information here.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you will find it here. So WOKWI
What
guest
we
is
guess.
the SSID.
Okay.
It is here,
Okay.
and it is uh,
No password. Okay.
no password is required.
Okay.
So we will use this, and then I will create similar variable for the password,
Okay.
and I will keep it blank since we do not have any password.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we will need MQTT server
Mm-hmm.
or broker. So I will call it MQTT server. We can name it anything we want,
Mm-hmm.
and since we are using,
Hive MQ. Okay.
I mean, there are different free public MQTT brokers. You can use
Right.
any, but I'm choosing this one. So
Mm-hmm.
broker.hivemq.com.
Mm-hmm.
We can paste it here,
Okay.
and
The port number as well, right?
port number is 1883.
Mm-hmm.
So we will need that later, and then we will have to create a client ID. So I
Yeah.
will say constant for our
ESP32.
MQTT connection. We need
Mm-hmm.
the client ID. So let's say it is ESP32
Okay.
WOKWI
Okay.
tutorial. I mean, it should be random. If you are connecting two client IDs, two similar client IDs to the same broker, it
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
create problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have all the credentials that we need in the variables. Then we are going to use the Wi-Fi library to connect to the Wi-Fi. So we will need the Wi-Fi client, and I will call it ESP client. And then using I'm creating a Wi-Fi client and I'm calling it ESP client.
Okay.
Let's make it capital. And then we will use this. Also, I will create a PubSub client using this library,
Okay.
and I will call it simply client. And then I will pass this Wi-Fi client that I have created here inside the parameters.
Okay.
So now, I mean, our PubSub client can use our Wi-Fi. So uh, using now, what we need to do is we will need to connect our ESP32 to Wi-Fi. So let's create a function for connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I'll call setup Wi-Fi.
Somebody was asking in the
And
comment if they can get the code in the end. Would you please?
yes, I can.
Can you share the code?
Uh,
Okay,
sh-
cool.
yes, I can share this WOKWI project
Oh,
itself.
cool. I can put it your file in the description, and maybe you can put a link, make a link for me, and I put it in the description of the video, and they can get it.
Okay, yes,
Cool.
we can
Thanks.
do
That's
that.
very nice. All right. Now.
Mhm. Okay, so we have we are creating a new function for creating a Wi-Fi,
Hmm.
but I will also call this function here. We do not have anything inside the function yet, but yeah. So now for setting up the function,
Hmm.
so connecting to the Wi-Fi, we will first need this Wi-Fi dot begin function, and inside that we will have to pass the SSID
Hmm.
and the password.
Okay.
I hope I'm using the okay. This is fine. This is password is fine as well. Okay. So then I will write a condition
Hmm.
using the while loop.
Got it.
I want to check if we are connect unless we are not connected to Wi-Fi. Do not go to the next step
All right.
because
So the
we will
first step
just
is
get
make a connection, and then if it's true, then we go to the next step.
yes. So
Okay.
we will check the status of our Wi-Fi,
Hmm.
and we will see if our Wi-Fi status. We will check if our Wi-Fi is connected.
Hmm.
So we will use this command which connected. So it is WL connected is a variable
Okay.
is or you can say is a flag that
Okay.
is already defined in the Wi-Fi library,
Okay.
and this flag will be um one when we are connected to the Wi-Fi, and will be zero
Not connected.
when we
Okay.
are not connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So and we are checking while we are not connecting, it will stay inside that loop.
Got it.
So what we will do, we will simply put a delay here, and we can simply print. So while we are not connecting, it will simply print dots, so we will
Okay.
know that it is trying to connect to
Trying to
the
connect. Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
So this is the setup Wi-Fi, but also once we get out of the loop, we will print serial dot println. So println is like print in the next line. So
Okay.
ln is the
Next line. Okay.
so yeah, and print is without changing the line.
Okay.
So I will print here Wi-Fi connected.
Okay.
So once we are out of this loop, that means we are connected to the Wi-Fi.
Cool.
So that's it, and we can simply test this code.
Okay.
So
Let's do
let's
that.
see if we are connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
So for now, I haven't used any MQTT
MQTT. Yeah.
function.
Just check the
Yes, it's
Wi-Fi.
just
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Okay. It
So
says while waiting, why not check out WOKWI for VS Code? So you can use VS Code also for writing WOKWI code. They have integration, I believe.
yes, I mean you can use WOKWI in VS Code as well.
That's cool.
And if you would like to learn how to do that, I have made a video on my
Oh,
channel
nice.
how to use WOKWI in VS Code,
Okay,
and it is really helpful. Even
that's true.
some functionalities which are I mean paid here on this WOKWI browser
Mm-hmm.
are free on the
Ah,
VS Code. For
that's nice.
example, if you are using Platform IO, you can use any library.
Okay.
Or yes, so if you can watch that video. I have discussed all these things
Ah,
in
okay.
that video.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's see here. So
I
you
can.
see, it
Yeah, I see
tried to
it's
connect
connected.
two doors and
Mm-hmm.
then it is connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So we are connected to Wi-Fi and we can see here icon of
As
Wi-Fi
friends. Okay.
that says the upload and the, yeah,
Okay.
speed. So
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I will stop this now
Mm-hmm.
and we will go on the next steps. So once we are connected to Wi-Fi, we will need to connect to the uh, MQTT.
Right.
So first thing, we will set up the MQTT broker. We have already defined our MQTT broker in a variable,
Mm-hmm.
so we are going to use that. So we use this client here.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to use the same thing here. So I'm going to call a client dot set server,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will have to give the address of our MQTT broker, which we call
Okay.
MQTT server.
Defined already. Okay.
Yes, MQTT server,
Okay.
and then we need a
Port address.
port number.
Yeah. Or
Yes,
port
so
number.
I will write 1883.
Okay.
So this is simply we are setting MQTT server,
Okay.
and then yes.
Since this server is open, we don't have to mention any username and password, right?
Yes,
Okay.
so this is a public MQTT broker.
Mm-hmm.
So and it is like I mean not secure.
Just for testing purpose and that you know
Yes,
it will work.
it is for testing purpose. So
But they do
you
have
should
the secure version. You can just sign up for free and you can have a
yes.
cluster and you can use secure communication as well.
Yes,
Cool.
there is some limit, but you can use the
Yeah.
secure version for free as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then we will need to create a callback function. So what is the callback? What is callback function? Callback function is something. I mean, we will be receiving messages from the MQTT. So so callback function is the function which will be called whenever we will get any message. So
Okay.
we will
So it will
say
wait for the message to receive and then it will call the function.
yes. So
Okay.
we can define our callback function and we can simply call it callback.
Okay.
Okay, so in the callback function now I have we have said that like whenever any message comes
Mm-hmm.
go to callback function, so we have to define that
Define that
callback function.
function. Right.
So we will say void callback,
Okay.
and then it is, I would say, I mean like you have to do it like this. I mean defined, this function is already defined in the documentation.
Mm-hmm.
So what this callback function will have some parameters.
Okay.
So what are those parameters? The first parameter will be character,
Mm-hmm.
that is topic. So we will have a topic name,
Right.
and then we will have uh, another parameter which is the payload.
Right.
So payload is the actual message that we are getting,
Okay.
and then we have another parameter called unsigned integer, and that is called length. So
Okay.
it is the length of the message, so you can verify your message
Mm-hmm.
with the length. So for example, if you are have received message abc but the length
Mm-hmm.
is greater than the message, you will see you can verify that some data
Okay.
has been lost or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but since we are doing very basic projects, so we are not going to use the length.
Mm-hmm.
So once a message is arrived, we can print that message arrived in topic,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can print the name of the topic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll call topic. So once any message is arrived, we can say that a message has arrived in the topic, and then we can print the message as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for printing the message, I mean, we have it in the
Mm-hmm.
uh, byte data type. So we will have to use a loop in order to print that message. So I will create another.
Okay.
I will create a string,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will use the for loop. So integer I equal to 0, I goes to length of the
Mm-hmm.
message,
Mm-hmm.
and then I plus plus, and then I will simply serial dot print. Uh, I will print the message, which is payload,
Mm-hmm.
and this is still in the byte format, so we will have to convert it to character.
Okay.
So I'll connect to character now, and
Okay.
also we will append this in the data,
Mm-hmm.
so we can use it later in our code. So for example, if we are receiving message on topic led, we can turn on the light.
Okay.
So I'm storing it in the data as well, and here I will define payload. So this is the callback function, and now I will have a message here.
So one
Message.
one question.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
part is a bit complicated. So this function is going to read the information from MQTT, which is coming from the broker to your ESP. Am I doing?
Yes.
Okay, from broker to ESP. This is what this function is
Yes.
doing. Okay.
Mhm. So now what we can do is, okay, so now we will, from our broker that we will create,
Mm-hmm.
or that from our broker which we will use, and we will create a dashboard. We
Mm-hmm.
will publish the message on topic ESP32
Okay.
led.
Mm-hmm.
So now here I will define the condition.
Okay.
So for example, if string, I will convert the topic to string,
Okay.
then is equal to.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the topic on which we will publish our
Okay.
data. Let's call it red as well. So if we are receiving message
Mm-hmm.
on in this topic,
Mm-hmm.
and if message is in the data
Mm-hmm.
is equal to on,
Okay.
then we will simply turn on our LED.
So we first check the topic name and then we check the value and then we trigger the output.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was,
Hi.
yes.
Okay.
Then
You can copy paste as well.
yes. Okay, so then we will simply, okay,
Okay.
so I can click on format document, so it will be
Oh, that's
formatted.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
So if we are using only one LED,
Mm-hmm.
so, and we, that means we will only have one topic. We
One
do
topic.
not need this. We do not need this. I mean,
Okay.
but since it is a public broker, I mean, messages will be coming
Okay.
from
Okay.
on many different
Got it.
topics. So, for example, if on any topic we are getting this,
It will
we
be
will
on. Okay.
the LED. Yes. So that's why we have to
Okay.
specify the
Specify
topic.
the topic.
Yes. So the our callback function is ready. So now what we can do is uh, now we can go in the loop function and we can send our data.
Data to the broker, or
Yes, yes. So first thing is we will have to check a condition here. For example, in the loop function, firstly we will check if we will check if we are connected to our um
broker.
MQTT broker. So we will have to check that in order to proceed. So I will see write if not client dot connected. It is this function is from the library.
Okay.
So then I will call the reconnect function, which we will create now.
Okay.
So I will create a reconnect function. Okay. So in the reconnect function, what we are going to do, we will be subscribing to the topics that we would like the to get the data from. So
Okay.
okay. So in the reconnect function, similarly, like what we did with the Wi-Fi, we will first check if we are connected to the MQTT broker or not. So I will use a while loop here to check not client dot connected. If we are not connected to client, it will stay here in this inside this loop.
Okay.
Okay, and then here I will say if client dot connect. So this function client dot connect is the actual function which will try to connect to the MQTT broker. Client dot connected function is just a function that is checking if we are connected, but client dot connect function is the actual function that makes the connection.
Okay.
So here we will pass the client ID.
Okay. This we
So
defined before.
yes,
Hmm.
which we created
Hmm.
before, and then we will subscribe to our topic.
Okay.
So in order to get the messages in our
Hmm.
um, callback function, we were using
The topic for
this
editing.
topic.
Now we
So
need for
we will
humidity
have
and temperature.
yes, so we will have to subscribe to this topic in order to get the values from the
Ah. Okay.
MQTT. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So I will subscribe here. So, okay, it should be in,
Yeah. String format.
yes. So, we are first making a connection, and once the connection is made, we are simply
Mm.
subscribing to the topic.
Okay.
Else, we will print failed since we are not connected. RC equal to RC is simply a return code that MQTT broker returns
Ah.
whenever it fails. So it will print the return code that we can look and we can see why we are not connected
Okay.
uh, to the broker. For example, there is a return code for if your username and password is incorrect.
Ah, okay.
So we can know that why we are not connected.
Okay.
So here we will write state. It will print the
State
and
point.
then
Okay.
we will print another trying again in 5 seconds. So once it is failed, it will try again in 5 seconds to connect. So we will put a delay of 5 seconds here. So yes, so now our reconnect function is ready. So firstly, if it will check if we are not connected to our MQTT broker,
Okay.
it will connect to the MQTT broker, and
Okay.
then we need to use call a function called loop that is for the uh, that is the loop of the MQTT. So our MQTT client can look for new messages continuously. So we will call this client dot loop. This is also a function um, from the library.
Baho's subpub library, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So for now, if I will run this program, I will be able to connect to the MQTT broker, and I will be able to get the data for LED here.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have to publish our temperature and humidity data.
Right.
So so let's do that for temperature
Mm-hmm.
first. So I will create a variable called array size.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, let's do it like this. So firstly, um, we need a function client dot publish.
Okay.
Okay, and in this uh, function, we will have to define the topic on which we would like to publish our data. So for
Okay.
example, we can say temperature,
Okay.
ESP32 and temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then here we will have to define our message, actual message that we would like to send.
Mm-hmm.
So, since we have this data,
In the
that
float.
message in the float, but we need it in the
String.
uh, yes, correct array, not in the string.
Ah, in the
We will
array.
need it in this
Okay.
array. So, we will have to do the conversion, and
Wow.
unfortunately, that conversion is not that simple. So, I will create a character message. This is the array, and I will define the
Okay.
size of the array. So I will call it array size.
Mm-hmm.
So the array size, we will have to define that as well. And the array size is equal to, so this array size should be, uh, so firstly we will define our message. So I will say string
Mm-hmm.
data to send equal to, I will convert our temperature in string,
Oh, okay.
and then I will use this data to send a string, and I will get its length,
Length. Yeah. Okay.
and then plus one, since it starts from zero.
Okay.
So one more, so we have the array size, but we have to define the type of array size as well. So that will be in bytes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this array size, and now we have this our uh, array in which we will be getting our data.
Mm-hmm.
So in the message, now I will convert this string into character array.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so this is message. Okay, so we have data to send, and so this will be data to send dot to character
Mm-hmm.
array, and then we will define the we will tell the array name
Okay.
and its length, so that is array
Okay.
size,
Okay.
and then we can simply publish this
Mm-hmm.
message.
Okay.
So for now, we can simply send the temperature,
Okay.
but similarly, I mean, you can copy paste this for the humidity as well.
That's better. Okay.
Yes, so I can copy. So I will quickly change this.
Yeah, you can change the variable maybe.
We have already defined the, okay, so let's call it
Mm-hmm.
message to, and let's send it to humidity. We can send it on one topic as well, and we can
Yeah.
separate them using comma, but for the simplicity I'm sending it to two
Okay.
different topics. So I think the code is
You need to
way
change at line number 97. Maybe you need to change the temp which is inside the function.
yes,
This should be
thank you for
humidity.
the,
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. And
okay,
in your
so
topic name, maybe you can put an extra I after D, humidity.
yes, yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, So now let's run this.
So now you need to send the value to the broker to turn on the
Yeah.
LED, right?
Yes.
This
So
node is
also I will
mm,
open my Node-RED.
okay.
I have already. Uh, okay, we have got here. We are
Semicolon.
missing a semicolon here.
Okay, that's good that it's telling you the problem.
So um, this is the simple flow diagram that I have created.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we are going to use this one. So let's first,
Okay.
or I can create a new flow from scratch.
No, it's okay. We are already ahead of time. So it's
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, Node-RED is something which people knows already. I hope there is nothing fancy there.
Wi-Fi connected, and okay. So
Okay,
I hope it is
good.
publishing the data. So
Okay.
we have this topic here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will.
Copy
Uh,
in the topic.
so this is the red LED. I have
Okay. Here we
used
go
this
with.
setup on payload on, off payload off,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is the MQTT out. So I
Okay.
will change the topic here to
Mm-hmm.
red. So because we have done this,
Right.
and this we are not using green LED in this,
Okay.
and temperature is topic is
ESP32 slash.
ESP32 temp and ESP32 humidity. So this topic is humidity.
Okay.
Done. And we will have to deploy this, and I will run the UI.
Mm-hmm.
So you see 35.8 here.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I change this here, let's say 52,
Mm-hmm.
which is not realistic, but
Okay.
since we are simulating. Okay, so
Let's see if the serial print is printing 52.
yes, it is
Do we?
printing. Okay, so
Now you have.
we have, yes, so we have a delay here,
Mm-hmm.
and also I mean this simulation is a
Yeah.
bit
Yeah.
slow here, so
But it's perfect.
but yeah, we have. So if let's try to turn on our LED, it
Can you
was
can
red
you
LED.
split
So
the screen, half ESP, half
yes,
Notepad? It's easier to realize. Yeah, perfect.
okay,
Now you can show ESP here. Yeah, I am in the camera view.
okay. So let's turn off this LED. It is off now, and now let's change the humidity,
Mm-hmm. 55. Nice.
and humidity has changed.
Cool. Looks very interesting. So this Node-RED, there you're subscribing to the broker, so you have the same broker address in your Node-RED flow. Maybe you can
Yes.
show it as well. I think you didn't talk about that
Okay. So in the Node-RED,
in the MQTT node.
for example, yes,
Yeah,
this is MQTT node here,
yeah.
and here I have
So
the broker.
same broker address and the port number which you give
Yes.
in the. So this is important.
Mhm.
This should match, and then you can get the data. So
Yes.
you can also use this MQTT details anywhere else to have a collaborative project when you're working. It's such a useful tool. I think WOKWI is very nice for learning
Yes.
experience. Like you did live coding and it's working. That's usually not happening every time. Whenever you do something live, things are cracking or breaking, but perfect like you did. I mean, everything is working very smooth. And what projects have you done on WOKWI like this? In your free time, do you work on WOKWI, or in your work, do you work on WOKWI, or how did you get
Y-
to this tool?
Yes. Let me save this, and
Yeah, save it. Uh,
or I can open a new window. So I can maybe show my previous projects here. I've
sure.
been doing all these experiments. I mean, for everything
Okay.
I'm using WOKWI. For example, I had this cool idea of using to-do list. I was doing this here on WOKWI, and
Okay.
this is here. So you will see different complicated diagrams. It is also connected
The
to
servo motor.
MQTT. Yes,
Wow.
we have servo motors here, and so
Did you also
this one I use.
sorry.
Yeah,
Did you also
this one I used in my video,
okay.
and this is on my in my video in which I showed MQTT and WOKWI. So you can check this out on the channel as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
So
Did you also publish a project in this WOKWI platform?
yes, also since I'm using the free version,
Ah, these
um,
are all your projects, you mean? Okay.
yes, yeah, this is all
Wow.
my project. So
And if somebody has to search this project, they can just search your name or just the name of project.
um, they can search by just the project name. For example, this WOKWI ESP32 MQTT. If they
Okay.
will search, they might be able to find this since it is public.
Ah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, they are public by default. But
Okay.
if you would like to, yeah,
Okay. So this is the way they are collecting all the projects. Who's ever using it, it should be public.
yes,
That's cool.
yes,
Oh, that's nice. And but do you use it at your work, WalkV, or is it just for learning and playing around?
yes. Basically, I'm using it. For example, if I'm doing some new project, I prototype here firstly to
Ah,
check the general idea, and then I do it on the real hardware.
that's cool.
And
I thought
yes.
this was just for learning, but it's good to know that you're also using it at work, so you can realize your circuits which you want to develop at your work, and then you
Mhm.
can do that here.
Yeah.
Very nice. And since how long you're using this platform?
It's been more than like a year now
A
since I've
year.
been using this.
Is it that
Yes,
new, WalkV, or is it an old platform?
it is old, but these all these features they are very new. I mean, it has been there for a long time, but they are introducing new features
Oh,
with the
cool.
time. Mm.
That's very amazing. I think I will. I would like to work on some of the projects that you did. After this
Mm.
webinar, I was interested to see if I can communicate this ESP32 with a PLC. But for sure, I can take the data out from this ESP32, all the sensors, send it to the broker, and then the broker can send it to the PLC just to play around.
Y-
So
Yes, yeah,
this
we
is
can do
cool.
that.
So you can have at least sensor data coming in to
Mm-hmm.
the PLC, and Node-RED for sure is the best platform to integrate different projects together.
Yes.
Great. Do you plan to make any other live stream where you want to talk about something? Or do you plan to make some more videos on your YouTube? What's your plan for the rest of the months or next weeks?
Yes, I've been planning to make some more videos. For example, I was planning to make a video on how to make your own custom chip here. For
Okay.
example, I would like to use soil sensor, which is not here.
Ah,
I
okay.
can simply create it using the custom chip
Oh,
option here.
really? Wow.
Yes,
And with
so
the
you can
soil,
create.
sensor, you said?
Yes, I mean, I was just giving
I was
example.
just gonna.
For example, if any sensor you cannot find here,
Hmm.
you can simply
Create in your.
create one.
Ah,
For
that's
example,
cool.
and they give different options. For example, you can use C, Rust, or
Aha.
Verilog to create a new.
That's interesting.
Yes,
So it's like open to others to use their creativity. So maybe they can create
yes,
one universal sensor which can measure temperature, humidity, pressure, or I
yes,
don't know, flow or
hmm,
speed, length. That's interesting.
yes,
This is actually
hmm,
what we are also doing in the digital twin platform that we use in Simomatic. We can make our own sensors using the Python code there. Very
hmm,
interesting. So we were also going to explore, this is the information for the audience, to maybe work together and create a course which you can access. So
hmm,
Asim was quite interested to start a basic course on ESP32. So if you want to start from scratch, maybe check out his channel, or maybe you can check out our news on LinkedIn. You can connect us on LinkedIn if we are coming up with this course. So most probably we'll see if how does it work. And yeah, that was great. Asim, thank you so much for your time, for your efforts in explanation of this nice project and how you can start
hmm.
building it from scratch. Anything else that you want to add related to your book I think you have some
Uh,
slides about your book.
yes, so I wanted to discuss about my book and how it would be uh, beneficial for the beginners. For example, uh, I have already mentioned that this book is about ESP32, Arduino IDE, and IoT,
Hmm.
and I have used the IoT architecture, which includes the sensing, networking, cloud, and
Okay.
the application as the direction of this book. So, for example, in the beginning, you will learn how to interface sensors
Hmm.
and also the science behind the sensing interfacing. That is the UART protocol, SPI, I2C.
Okay.
Also, in the book, I have mentioned how to interface cameras with ESP32 and how to interface different displays using
Okay.
ESP32. And then also, I have discussed the ESP32 Wi Fi and BLE capabilities
Hmm.
using different protocols like MQTT, HTTP,
Okay.
and webhooks for the ESP32.
Hmm.
Webhooks are really great for notifications.
Okay.
And also, in the end, you will apply all these knowledge using different practical projects. So there are projects for related to data logging,
Wow.
and you can see the graphs in Grafana. And also there is a project where you can rent out your parking space, so you can
Ah,
integrate the payment using ESP32 and PayPal
oh,
API.
that's cool.
And also there is a project where you are posting stuff on social media
Mm.
using third party API integration. So
Oh, it's
this
kind
is
of
about
like
my book.
automation that you can automate your social media post using.
Mhm.
But can you do all these projects also with WOKWI or just few of them?
Yes, for example, social media posting,
Hmm.
payment using PayPal. I think almost all of them you can do
All
on
of them.
WorkWe.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's interesting. So somebody can just buy a book, open a laptop, move around, and do this project on WOKWI on the fly. That's
Yes, even for my book, I mean, initially I tested everything on WorkWe, the general idea, and then I tested it on the real hardware.
ah,
So every code in the book is tested on WorkWe,
okay,
except the BLE thing,
okay.
because currently WorkWe does not support the BLE.
Really, okay.
So yes, so
And
that is the
all
only.
the
Yeah.
projects that you have in your book, the solutions
Mhm.
are in your WOKWI profile, or where do they find the solution?
Yeah, there is a GitHub
Repository.
for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
repository
this
for that.
GitHub
Yes.
is only available if you buy the book, right?
No, it is available for public
Oh,
as
for
well.
public. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. So people can also see your code from GitHub, download
Mhm.
that, test that, and do some
Mhm.
optimization if they want. Very interesting. So
Yes.
very good package, I think, for also for learners, for students who are doing some projects in their university,
Mhm.
bachelor's or masters. They can use it as a reference book and see what they can
Mhm.
do with this, and maybe explore more with that. Very
Yes.
interesting. And when you said here, I was curious to know, WalkMe with camera somewhere, camera interfacing. What kind of camera can you interface with with ESP32?
It is not about WalkWe. I mean, this camera thing is not available in.
In WalkMe, it's not.
Yes,
Okay.
but
But in
you can,
ESP32, you can have a camera.
you can do the displays here.
Ah, display. I thought
For
it became a
example,
web camera. But okay, good to know.
n- yeah, no, this camera thing is not yet available
Okay,
here
okay.
on WorkWe. But yeah, you can do. For example, this uses the display, simple display.
This
Yeah.
I also saw a joke machine once I was exploring
Yes.
Walkway. I was curious to know what
Hmm.
this can do. So it's making different kind of jokes from some APIs, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, joke API dot developer. Okay,
So
cool.
it is using this API.
Yeah, this API. Wow,
Mhm.
that's nice. These APIs are helping a lot for data exchange. So
Yes.
let's see what joke is coming. What is dying programmer? Last program.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
God.
Opposite of hello world.
Yes.
This should be printed on the T-shirt. Programmer's
Yes.
T-shirt. Cool. So I would
Okay.
say thank you, Asim, for your time. It was a pleasure to have you, and thank you for your efforts and explanation of your code, talking about your book.
Mhm.
I think this is a
Mhm.
wonderful way to proceed in learning ESP32 and exploring WalkMe for those who don't want to buy hardware. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video, or you can also reach out Asim on his LinkedIn or by email. I will put the details in the description once the live session ends. And if you are looking for more live streaming content, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, and feel free to send your options or recommendation about the topics you want to explore. I'll be coming live soon, maybe with more guests or just me alone solving some PLC exercises. So thank you, Asim. Thank you for your time, and I hope we talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Then have fun. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye.